Hey guys, I am filming the finale for my winter project pan today. I'm excited because I finished off a lot of things in this project, which is fantastic, but I'm really ready to get into some spring makeup. You can tell I'm wearing some spring makeup today. I don't know why my hair is doing this, so let's try to ignore it, but let's just get into this. I'm going to start by showing you the things I finished since last time. I have my playlist linked up in the cards in case you want to see what my progress has been like throughout the project. And first would be the VDL Luma Layer Primer. I'm not sure where I was last time. I know I had already started working on it and only had a few more uses left. This comes with 5 mils, but really like a brand new package, comes right up above the words, so there's not a ton in here. And I used this up early enough that I was actually able to finish off a second one. I used the last application today, which is exciting. This is a really nice glowy primer. It has an opalescent sheen to it, but this is not a greasy primer. It almost dries down a little bit. It gives more of like the glowy look without necessarily the glowy feel. So it's something I really enjoy. It was sold at Ulta, which is where all these little minis came from, but I believe the brand is leaving. It's an Asian beauty brand, so I know you can find it on lots of websites online, but I have other glowy primers that I'm liking a little bit more than this, or just as much, that are easier for me to get. So I won't repurchase this, but spoiler, my friend Jean did send me one more of these and I'm gonna put in my spring project pan to use it up, but this feels fantastic to have finished 2 more primers. Then I did finish just a few days ago the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer in Alabaster. I told you guys if it got down to it, I was gonna use it as foundation, and that is what I did. I did also end up taking off the little applicator, so if you do that, that's what the packaging looks like. Just to squeeze everything out of here. This was a really nice product. This does give a really solid medium coverage, but it is not too greasy looking. It creases under my eye, but really all concealers do. It's not worse than anything else. It looks very natural. I did just apply a light amount of this whenever I would apply my powder foundation when I was going to work. It worked really well, and on those days I usually didn't set it and it was totally fine. I loved this as foundation. I know there is a foundation in this range, but I haven't tried it, but this looked beautiful as foundation. It did give that nice glow, gave a really solid medium coverage, wore pretty well. I would not repurchase to use this foundation. I would go through it very quickly, but this lasted me a long time as concealer, and I don't think that this is available anywhere besides their website anymore, unfortunately, because I know a lot of people really like this range, especially Heather Austin, Angelica Nyquist, but really, really good. That was what my friend Jean gave me. She also gave me the VDL primer samples. Thank you, Jean. And then I did also use up the little lip color serum sample that I had from Fit Glow Beauty. This is the shade Regal, which is a purpley pink color. I'm gonna have to ask them, or maybe Kate, if you guys know what size these minis are. It did come in a box, but I threw the box away and I went to calculate the value of this, so I might have to just ask around to see if people know. But I really love this formula. I have 2 full sizes, which is how I got this mini. It was a gift with purchase. This is a beautiful shade. I love it so much. I don't really wear a lot of colorful lippies, but because this was a purple tone pink and not a pink tone purple, it was a little bit more easy for me to wear. Really love this. I would definitely buy it again in the future if I could get it on a good sale. Fit Glow is a really expensive brand to me. And I did finish up the perfume I rolled in, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. This is just a little baby size. It has 4.5 mils, I believe, and I was all the way down there last time, so it is used up. I also used up the other baby bottle that I had of it and this little perfume sample, and that feels wonderful. This was going to be in my spring project, but I went ahead and finished it now, which is great because I do have some other perfumes that I want to use up this year, a lot of little samples, so feels great to have those finished as well. So then there were only 2 products that I did not completely use up, and that would be my sprays. I told you guys that I anticipated that these would be rolling into my spring project and being finished there, which is still what I'm going to do. So first I have my DermaE Hydrating Mist, and we've got intro, first update, second update, and finale. So you can tell that I really picked up the pace here, and that's because I decided that I was going to use this as a primer and setting spray on days when I'm just filming, and that's why I got through it so quickly. So I should finish this in like a month and a half maybe in my spring project, which will be fantastic. And then on days where I was going to work or wearing my makeup for a long period of time, which besides work was not that often, and then when we went to Miami, I was using the Urban Decay All Nighter, which is in my year-long project, and this is a 1 fluid ounce size. I'm not able to see through the packaging. Definitely feels like I'm somewhere around here, so this will be rolled over as well. But again, I don't want to waste this because I love it so much. So on days like today where I'm filming, then wiping off my makeup going to bed, I'm going to use this to set. But on days when I'm going to work, which starting tomorrow actually, such a bummer, I'm going to start going in the office 2 days a week, and I'll be using this 2 days a week. So that should be used up relatively early on in the project as well. So I feel good about the headway that I made on those items. So now let's talk about the things that I used up in previous updates. I have 6 items right here, but I do have, I think, 5 other products or 6 other products that I used up. One of them, I lost it. I think I must have accidentally thrown it away, which is so sad. It was a little deluxe sample of the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation in Fair 3C. A little light for me. Foundation was just okay. I think it would be a great affordable option for people that have dry, normal skin, but for me as an oily skin person, it was just fine. Great, like, medium coverage though. And then there were the other products that I used up in December that I put with my 2021 yearly makeup empties, which normally things that I finish in my winter project pan, even though I start that in December, I usually will save it for the next year, but I was so close to 100 empties that I went ahead and counted those for last year. So those would be the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Concealer in Swan. That took me so long to use up. I ended up finishing it as foundation. It still took me a really long time. Beautiful as foundation. And my friend Jean did just declutter hers to me. So I'm probably gonna use it as foundation again because it looked really pretty that way actually. Then I used 2 baby sizes of the Dermablend Translucent Loose Setting Powder. You guys know that's my absolute favorite. I used up the Mercier Caviar Stick in Intense Moonlight. I had just a little bit of this left. I think the original shade is a very pretty taupe color, but the Intense version has some more silver shimmer in it, and I didn't love that as well, or I didn't like it as well as the original shade, if that makes sense. And then I did also use up what was left of the Jack Black Intense Therapy Lip Balm in Natural Mint. If you ever get the full sizes or a sample, I totally recommend when you can't squeeze out anymore to cut it open. There will be a ton of product in there that is just hard to get to. So I put it in a sample jar to use up. The jar had a lot in there and I use that up here. And for things like that where I can totally finish them, I like to do so. Things like the primer here, I'm not going to cut this open because I'm able to see that I got everything, or maybe there's a quarter of a use left, which I'm not going to bother, but I know that those Jack Black lip balms have a ton. And then I did declutter something, the Catrice Illuminating Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. I knew I could use it up, but I figured my friend Jean would like it better, so I am going to be passing that on to her. So those were the other things, but here are the things that I have here that I can share with you that I finished up previously. The Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, and this was a travel size. It had 0.50 fluid ounces or 15 mils. I do really like this. It is very hydrating. I do have the Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer, which I think works just the same as this one, so I'm not going to need to purchase this for a while. I really like it in the winter time, but it's not something I can really use other times of year because I'm too oily for it. But if you have dry skin, I think that's a really good moisturizing option, and the consistency feels different from a regular moisturizer. I think that would be so good for you if you have super dry skin. Then I did use up this deluxe size sample of the Kosas Cloud Set powder in Breezy, which is the second lightest shade. This ended up being a little bit dark for me, but I fell in love with this powder, surprisingly. I did not have hard pan, and it may have been the way I applied it, or like the brush I used, or the fact that I did not put this over top of a super dewy wet foundation. I think that a lot of dry skin people like this, and usually dry skin people are wearing more of like a wet dewy foundation. I think that just going back and forth, just transferring the wetness to this hard pan. And I did use this as a powder foundation several times. It looks so good on the skin, really blurs pores. So I actually did repurchase this in the lightest shade area during the Sephora VIB sale. My haul will be coming in a couple videos, but I did not think I was gonna like this, and I'm so glad I got this little mini to try it out because I fell in love. I mentioned this in my yearly favorites. I liked it that much. It just really surprised me. Then I did use up 3 more lippies, which is incredible. This first one is the Clairins Lip Comfort Oil in Red Berry. I liked the scent. This was pretty. It wasn't super sticky. I tried one of these in the past and returned it because I thought it was too sticky, but it wasn't terrible. I won't repurchase this, but I do have another shade I'm going to pan in spring, but happy to get that one done. And I do think that will have a high value when I do the math. I also finished the Grande Cosmetics Hydrating Lip Plumper in Spicy Mauve. I've gone through a few of these before. Love it so much. I love the shade. I love the formula of this. And I love these samples because it has a doe foot applicator. Unfortunately, the full size is in one of those little clicky pins with a silicone tip. That style of packaging for a colored lip product, I don't like. But if I can get more minis of these, I will totally use them up. And then I also finished the Pixi Lip Lift Max Gloss in Peony Bloom. I really like this formula. The shade is too bright for me, so I would not repurchase it. But there's not much in here. I was able to get through that pretty quickly. And then I had the perfume that I had originally started working on. This is a little baby size of Dior Joy. This has 5 mils in it, and I like this a lot. I do have a full size of this. Now this is like the most grandma-like perfume in my collection. There's like a little bit of a baby powder note to it, but it's not super overwhelming. It's not like the main note, so I do enjoy this a lot. So now let's count up how many things that I finished. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not counting that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 products in this project, a lot of minis, but still that is fantastic. I'm super happy to get these things out of my collection, and I think I will finish these maybe in the first month or month and a half of my spring project, which makes me feel fantastic. And I have picked out most of the things for my spring project, but there's the last few things I'm still trying to decide on, but that intro will be coming up next. And I would love to hear your thoughts on these products in the comments down below. I would also love to hear what project pans you are doing currently. I'm also doing my year-long project pan, which I will be updating shortly, and my rolling sample project pan. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.